Hey, this is Peggy with Easy Peasy Machine Embroidery, and today I am working on a project that required me to adjust some small lettering. The dot above the I was running into the base of the I, and it looked like an L, and I had to figure out some way to fix it. So this is what the project looked like. I went and got a tree out of embroidery library, and then I decided I was going to make little leaves that were could be three-dimensional. The ends of these leaves can be pinched so that they look more three-dimensional. There's uh, the lettering is covered up by fabric on the back. Um, and as you can see, the lettering had to be pretty small. So, this is what happened. There were a lot of members of this family. Um, Basically, what I did was I created the leaf shape first, and and that was done in the Create module, in the digitizing. Um, and then I added the names afterwards. So what I had to do was do a combine. And I think the first thing I wanted to, nope, I did that already. The first thing I wanted to do was make sure the color of the lettering did not match any of these colors because I did not want them to combine when I color sorted them. So I'm going to combine the whole project, and then because this is going to stitch out in a specific way, I need that lettering to stitch out after the pink of the crosshatch fill. So all I'm going to do is select the blue, and using the arrow, slide that up. So it is going to stitch out after the crosshatch and before the back side is attached, and then the satin stitches attached after all these are trimmed out. Anyway, hope you understood that. So, but as you can see, the lettering is really tiny, and the space between the base of the I and the dot is really tiny, tiny. So when I stitch it out the first time, it was one big old glob. So I'm going to go over here to my film strip and right click on item number 1 and do edit in stitch editor. And I'm going to go down and get my zoom tool. And I'm going to deselect everything but just that lettering. I'm going to turn on, using the View tab, 2D View with stitch points so I can see where my stitches are. And now I'm going to go home and I'm going to do a box select, and I'm going to select just that dot, and I'm going to move that up quite a bit. And if you recall, by looking at the last screen, there is a pretty big jump stitch without a tie off. So what I'm going to do is just go into modify and say insert a trim command. I'm going to zoom in one more time, and I inserted that trim command so that now that line is a dotted line. And So knowing that you can now see the stitches, you can change these stitches and move them around if you need to. So that's a pretty cool thing. If I close out here, it has moved that dot up a bit. You can now see that that line, that blue line that was there before, is gone. And another thing I wanted to mention is that if you had that same lettering, I'm just going to add it as an afterthought here. I had a gap of 5. What that means is the spacing between the lettering. So if I put a gap of, say, 15, the font is actually the, let's see what size font that was. Let's go down here. It was a size 6 font. So let's do the same font size 6 font. Remember, you can always go down here and see the information of your design. So when I put a space of 15, a gap of 15 between them, you can see that there's quite a bit more space between the A and the R. Sometimes that's a good thing to play with that gap. The same thing would also work with, let's go down here to script. And if these letters were too far apart, edit lettering, let's do a gap of 20. I may have to adjust my hoop size. Sometimes you have too much space between letters. This is a really bad example because it's seems to be uh, there's no space between the lettering, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If you decided that that M and those A's should be closer together, you can also go down the other way and say a minus 10. And see how that just connected the M to the A? So it works both ways. Okay, I think that was it for adjusting lettering. So hopefully I didn't just screw something up. I'm adding a little bit to this video. I thought of one more thing afterwards. The other thing that you could do with, if you had some, really small lettering, so we're going to turn that back down to 6, is you could also check that individual lettering bar. So we'll bring this down here. Whoops, let's go back to the nearest point thing that I was using. And size 6, individual. So see how that when that came in, it came in as individual instead of, all as one. So now I can actually take, let's get that zoom tool. Zoom is your friend. You can actually take and move these closer together. That A looked like it was a little close to that R. And you can space those out as you wish, all on your own, so that it looks the way you want it to look. Okay, so hope you've enjoyed this video and catch you later. Catch you later.